this one, it picks up pretty well. I can tell it's picking up. Sorry. What's up, dude? You're alive. We're all good. All right, awesome. Thanks so much.
We're going to sit down there.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you. Glad to help out. Whenever you guys hit a visit.
They get so excited when I get to there. Okay, here, please. General areas, good. Good job, yours. Nobody's sitting up top. Nobody's sitting up top.
All these, the middle section, all.
All right, come on in. Come down to the front sections, please.
All there, so it's all good.
Good.
Not sitting up top. Not sitting up top.
Down here, let's go to the front.
Devin. Devin.
I was just talking about
Yeah, let's show a little bit more technical.
Gavin, LeBron.
Alright, go ahead and put your phones away, AirPods away. Take your AirPods out.
Hey, our group right now, listen up. Seventh period. Our students in action. We're gonna sit up top. With a group in this section. What?
Everyone's sitting low, everyone's sitting down. Here's fine, here's fine. We're not sitting up top.
All right, as you guys trickle in here, we will get going. A couple rules before we get going for our leadership summit. This is the fourth time that we've done this, our fourth annual leadership summit with our leadership in action students. So please, please, please put your phones away. We do not want to see any phones throughout the presentation. Our other rules: be present. We are going to have a Q&A at the end, and you guys also have a handout in front of you that you're going to fill out with takeaways and nuggets throughout the presentation. Our leadership nugget is something that our students have been jotting down throughout the semester. We have a journal that we take notes in, and they use their presentation, or they use the nuggets to guide their presentation. Today you will hear two presentations, one from our trust group and the other growth mindset group, and it will be about 12 to 15 minutes, a TED Talk style presentation. There will be some volunteer opportunities, so please raise your hand if you want to get up here and volunteer, or shout out whatever they ask of you, and then think of questions that we can ask at the end. So the first thing we're going to do is give a round of applause to our leadership in action students here. All right, so our first group, here we go, trust.
Click on the Chrome. Lunk, what did you do? Okay, so we did our presentation on trust. My name is Brooklyn, and I'm a part of cheer and NHS.
I'm Giada, and I'm part of cheer.
I'm Avery, I'm part of track, bowling, and NHS.
I'm Avery, and I'm part of track, cheer, and on senior advisory. Okay, so now we're gonna all talk a little bit about like what trust means to us and how we value trust in our lives.
Basically, a year ago, I told my coach a very personal secret to me that I didn't want like getting out, and she ended up telling a couple people on my cheer team, and that just like broke my trust overall, and I just had to kind of learn how to gain like kind of respect back for her and stuff. So I kind of, yeah.
A way that I gained trust was sophomore year. Math was super hard for me, and so I had to go into my math class a lot. And my teacher never made me feel bad about it, never made me feel like I was anything like less than my other students in the class. And so that really gained my trust with him.
At practice one day, I had told my coach that that a person on my team never really cheered for anyone, and she didn't share that secret with anyone else, and I knew that I could kind of trust her, and yeah.
And then for me, I kind of value trust in a little bit different way. I tend to give trust first. I really just find it easy to give other people trust first. That's the easiest way for me to gain it back. And I gain more than just trust from them. They also give me the respect, and it's just probably the best way for me to gain trust. And as you can see, we all kind of value it in a different way. Brooklyn kind of focused on how someone broke her trust and how it was hard for her to gain that trust back. Giada gained trust from her teacher, and then Avery, she kept trust with her coach. Her coach didn't tell anybody else what she told her, and then I kind of just learned to give it to people, even if they don't give it back. Okay, now we're gonna play a game. I'm sure you guys might have seen this game maybe at Pride Camp. It's the minefield game, so we're gonna need 6 people to come up if you want to volunteer for the game.
And you're gonna be in partners, so you can pick
Yeah,
with
we need
someone.
like partners.
Sawyer and David.
And Caitlin and Luke, come here. You got a partner up there? Wait, yeah, come here. Yeah.
You too. You can be a partner.
Brooklyn, oh wait, I already got people.
Wait, never mind.
Okay, so now, like, okay, you two are gonna be a team, and then you're gonna be on a team with him. You're on a team with him. Yes. Okay, pick in your teams, like, who wants to be blindfolded? Come here. Who wants to be blindfolded? Don't put the blindfold on yet. Don't put it on yet. Okay, first you're gonna have 1 minute to like kind of come up. Have you guys played this game before? So
The goal of the game is to get your partner in the blindfold across the stage without hitting any of these objects. You're gonna be guiding them across. So you're gonna try and only listen to your partner.
So you can only use your voice to guide your partner through the minefield and the obstacles, and if they touch the obstacles, they have to restart to the back of the minefield. And whoever gets through it first wins. You just have to get to the other side. Like, get out of the... Okay, wait, don't put the blindfold. You're gonna have 1 minute to strategize with your team on like what your strategy is. So just talk in your group and like what your strategy is gonna be. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Luke, are you ready? No, it doesn't matter.
Audience, while they're playing the game, make as much noise as possible. Try to distract them.
Three. Are you guys ready? Put the blindfolds on.
Blindfolds on.
Ready? You guys ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so they got through it first. What's your name?
Jason.
So Jason, Anthony, they got through the minefield first. Now we have a few questions for you guys. How much trust did you have in your partner to get you through the minefield?
A lot.
How comfortable did you feel being blindfolded and led through the minefield?
Very comfortable.
How confident were you to guide Luke through the minefield?
Very confident.
Did you trust Dayton to lead you through the minefield?
I absolutely did trust CW5 to guide me through.
All right, that's amazing. You guys can go sit down. Thank you.
Okay, next I'm going to have you guys watch a short video from Simon Sinek. A little bit about him is that he wrote How Great Leaders Inspire Action and also did one of the most watched TED Talks named Start With Why. He's going to talk about his experience with trust in the Navy.
Plus, I just think this is really interesting. So, I've worked with the Navy SEALs. And I asked them, like, how do you pick like the guys that go on SEAL Team 6? Right? Because they're the best. And they drew a graph for me. And on one side, they wrote the word performance, and on the other side, they wrote the word trust. The way they define the terms is performance on the battlefield and performance off the battlefield. So this is your skills. This is, did you make your quarterly earnings, however you want to translate it, right? Performance, it's traditional. This is, how are you off the battlefield? What kind of person are you? The way they put it is, I may trust you with my life, but do I trust you with my money and my wife? They're SEALs. This is what they told me. Nobody wants this person, the low performer of low trust, of course. Of course, everybody wants this person, the high performer of high trust, of course. What they learned is that this person, the high performer of low trust, is a toxic leader and a toxic team member. And they would rather have a medium performer of high trust, sometimes even a low performer of high trust, it's a relative scale, over this person. This is the highest performing organization on the planet, and this person is more important than this person. And the problem in business is we have lopsided metrics. We have 1,000,001 metrics to measure someone's performance, and negligible to no metrics to measure someone's trustworthiness. And so what we end up doing is promoting or bonusing toxicity in our businesses, which is bad for the long game, because it eventually destroys the whole organization. The irony is, it's unbelievably easy to find these people. Go to any team and say, who's the asshole? And they'll... they will all point to the same person. Equally, if you go to any team and say, who do you trust more than anybody else? Who's always got your back? And when the chips are down, they will be there with you. They will also all point to the same person. It's the best gifted natural leader who's creating an environment for everybody else to succeed, and they may not be your most individual highest performer. But that person, you better keep them on your team.
Okay, basically what this video was saying is that the best team player in skills isn't always the best person you want on your team. Groups and teams would rather have a lower to medium person of skill with a high trustworthiness because it is valued way more. Being a better person is more important for your team. Okay, next we took a survey for the students here, and one of the questions we asked was, how important do you believe trust is in your relationships? And most people said a 4 out of 5, meaning that it's not the best that you want, but not the lowest either. It's still pretty valued highly. And then another one of the questions we asked was, do you give trust right away, or do you build up trust? And 70% said trust right away was not what they do. They take time to build that trust over time. When I asked the next question, what qualities make someone more trustworthy? People said honesty, keeping promises, and showing up when asked, and showing that they can be relied on. And these qualities are all good to have in someone, and a friend, and someone you can trust. But the downfall is that they take time to build. You can't automatically tell a secret to someone and see if they keep it in order to figure out if you can trust someone. So in order to help you build trust with others faster, you give your trust right away. If others see that you can trust them, they are more than likely to trust you back. Building this mutual trust with others right away can benefit your relationships greatly. And next we did some interviews to help reinforce this. Next we have some interview responses. So first we interviewed Mr. Hokinson, and he said, I try my hardest to show trust for my students in all the work they do, quizzes, tests, and homework. I try to foster this by keeping a very open policy of asking questions and constantly reminding them of the pitfalls of cheating, especially when doing homework. He also said, I firmly believe that trust is something you have to give. This is because there are a million ways to lose someone's trust, but there really isn't any specific thing you can do to earn it. And then now we have student interviews. So first we interviewed senior Landon Jett. We asked him, how has trust helped you in sports? He said, when trusting teammates, it gives me confidence knowing that I know they will always put in all the effort into making things happen. And then we interviewed sophomore Bria Lyric. We asked her, do you trust your coaches/teammates, and how has this helped you succeed? She said, yes, I trust my coaches and my teammates, and with that trust, it helps me have more confidence and be more successful. So these kind of just show like how important trust really is in sports and honestly any aspect of your life. Landon Jett kind of just explains how he values trust in his teammates and how it's led him to success. And then now we interviewed junior Caitlin Delano. We asked her what happens when you don't fully trust your teachers. She said, trusting my teachers has helped my grades improve tremendously because I've built a good connection with them, enough to ask for help without being nervous. It makes the subject easier and more interesting to learn about when I trust my teachers and build that bond. And then we also asked her, do you lose trust or gain trust over time? She said, most of the time I gain trust. Over the entire school year, I've usually adjusted to the teaching style and learned to enjoy their class, whether or not I'm close with them or not. It makes the year easier for both the teacher and myself when I'm not worried about it if I can trust them.
Okay, so now you're going to write this down on your paper, but our leadership nugget is trust is the glue of life. So basically, it's the foundational principle that impacts all relationships. Without trust, cooperation becomes difficult and people struggle to rely on one another. Trust plays an important role in society as well. You trust healthcare, teachers, businesses. Trust allows communities to function smoothly towards common goals. An example of trusting others is how you trust doctors with your health. You are automatically giving trust to them because they have a degree in it. And your bosses and managers trust you to do your job and to not let them down. Do you guys need more time to write it down?
That's good. Did you get that?
Okay, so our connection to leadership is that having trust in yourself and between the people around you and organizations you are a part of is extremely important. Trust is used in every aspect of your life, whether you realize it or not. So if you are a leader, you should give trust to others because it shows right off the bat that you are trustworthy. And then our why is behind trust, there's a strong foundation created to being a successful leader. Without trust, people are either not willing to give you their trust first or not willing to give you trust, which can affect communication and the feelings between that leader and person. When leaders build trust, it shows to others that you are reliable, honest, and willing to create a strong relationship from the start. Trust is not just something you have one-on-one, it is something that can also be created in a group. What we want for you guys to get out of this is that we want you guys to know that trust is all around you, even if others do not show trust first. You should take the initiative and show it as a leader. Trusting others around you builds connections that are important to succeed in life, relationships, teams, and leadership. This is why trust is the glue of life.
All right, good job, guys. Next up, we have our growth mindset group. Another reminder, please be respectful. Put your phones away. I'm looking at these two sections. We heard some people being a little bit disruptive. Calm that down. If you don't want to be here, you guys can leave, okay?
Okay, so this is our presentation on growth mindset. I'm Emily. I'm Lacey, and I'm Layla. I'm going to be talking about growth mindset at school. I used to have a mindset where I'd want to like give up right away and say things like, this is too hard, or I'm like going to not even try or give up. That was definitely me having a fixed mindset rather than focusing on the positives and thinking I can't do this yet, or I'll try my best even if it's hard. After realizing that giving up wasn't getting me anywhere, I learned to keep trying and understand that it's okay to fail. Shifting to a growth mindset has helped me academically by pushing me to at least try on all my tests and quizzes and homework assignments, even when I feel like giving up.
Okay, and then I'm going to talk about like with work, growth mindset. When I first started working, it was really hard for me because I was afraid of failing and I didn't want to mess up. And with my work, it's like weird. No one has like any like set position. Like you just go wherever you need. Like you could be like checking people in, cooking, doing parties. There's no like set roles, so that was also really hard for me because I didn't really know where to go at times. But now I've been working there for over a year and I've definitely grown like into my job, and I feel like I'm a good role model for those who like start there to show them that it's okay to mess up and you'll succeed in the end.
So I'm actually going to talk about bowling. So for me, having a growth mindset with bowling is actually super important because it helps you get better instead of getting mad when you mess up. Like if you miss a pin or you throw a bad shot, you don't just think you're bad, you're just going to try to figure out what you got to fix for the next time. Bowling takes a lot of practice. Yeah, I really wasn't very good my freshman year, and I'm really getting there. Yeah, like working on your aim and timing, like let me tell you, those arrows on the ground really matter. It also helps you stay more confident because you know you can improve if you keep trying. Okay, and then we have a growth mindset video.
I missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for. every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Each other, so. Wait, let me get a timer. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. Stop, don't talk. Ethan, stop talking. Nolan, you can't let go. Yeah, good job, closing that. Okay, so now an explanation for that is that Human Not activity shows growth mindset because these group of students had to stay patient, communicate, and
try different strategies when they got stuck. It showed that challenges can be solved through teamwork, effort, and not giving up. Okay, so basically a growth mindset helps people stay resilient, learn from mistakes, and see challenges as opportunities instead of failures. It encourages effort and persistence, which leads to growth, improvement, and greater success in school and leadership. Versus a fixed mindset is when someone thinks that their abilities and intelligence are basically set and can't really change much. Because of that, people avoid challenges, give up easier when things get hard, and see mistakes as proof they're not good at something, instead of seeing it as something that they can learn from. Okay, this is our leadership nugget. It's a little long, so we'll stay here on this slide for a while. So our nugget is clear that exemplary student leaders approach each new and unfamiliar experience with willingness to learn, an appreciation of the importance of learning, and the recognition that learning involves making some mistakes. We'll stay here for a hot second. Are you ready?
Wink, not wink. Wink. I'm gonna wink and I wish it was coming. What? Oh, okay. No, I didn't. Just said.
Is everyone ready to go? Okay. Okay, and then we did like a survey and we asked around the school. So one of the questions we asked was, do you think mistakes help you learn, or do they make you feel like you failed? And most people say that mistakes help them learn. And then we asked, how willing are you to step outside your comfort zone to learn something new? Most people are like in between, like they'll sometimes try something new but not. And then we asked, do you believe you have a growth or fixed mindset? And most people said they have a growth mindset. And then we asked if when people try something new, if they keep trying or if they give up right away, and everyone mostly said that they'll keep trying. And then we asked, when you struggle with something in school, do you see it as a chance to improve or as a sign you're not good at it? And most people say it's a chance to improve. And then we asked, when you see someone make a mistake and keep trying, does it motivate you to do the same? And most people said yes. And then we also said, do you think having a growth mindset helps students become better leaders? And most students said yes. And then we interviewed Sterner and we asked him, when was a time you were challenged and how did you change your mindset to overcome it? And he said, being in the role of freshman campus principal has been a positive challenge for me. Stepping into this positive position was a leap and it has been a learning experience. My mindset was to choose hard, knowing that growth comes from taking on challenges, and that's what I've learned in experience this year. And then we asked, what challenges have you faced when trying to foster growth mindsets among students? And he said, one challenge I've faced is understanding that mindset shifts take time. It doesn't happen overnight. While it's important to talk about a growth mindset, it's even more important to model it through actions. And then we asked him, what does growth mindset mean to you? And he said, a growth mindset equals hope. It's the belief that improvement is possible and the best is yet to come. Okay, and then we interviewed Buebauer. We first asked him, what does growth mindset mean to you? He said, I'm a big believer of growth mindset. We do it all the time in the weight room. Instead of being fixed about the weights, we want to focus on continuing to grow and pushing ourselves, and nothing does that better than the weight room. I'm a big believer of going against your own best and not with those around you, but instead pushing each other to get better. And then we asked him, how does growth mindset affect students when lifting and doing sports? He said, you can get better if you don't put in the work, the weights don't lie, one more rep. And then we said, how do you think students change their mindset when they feel like giving up? He said, by trying to focus on the gains instead of the gaps, it's easier to focus on your failure. But instead go back and look at your positives and start stacking them to give you momentum. It's okay to feel stuck, but there's always something to be grateful for. And then he recommended 2 books, The Gap and the Gain, and then The Champion's Mind.
Okay, and then like the biggest takeaway I want you guys to take from this is that never think anything is impossible. View obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as setbacks, and replace negative beliefs about abilities with positive affirmations about growth and potential. And then we also have our leadership nugget in case you guys still need to write that down.
And that's it.
Alright, we have a few minutes here for everyone to ask questions as our groups get up there. Questions can be about the class itself, about their topics, about their journey, anything that you want to know that they can respond to. Alright, first question right here.
So when it comes to like growth mindsets and stuff, like how do you help someone who for example, if like they have a positive mindset but then like something happened and the mindset just kinda is not positive anymore. Like how do you guys combat that?
For me, like one example kind of would be like during cheer, a lot of people tend to get negative if something's not going their way. So it's kind of the easiest just to remind them their why, like why they do cheer, and that kind of brings back that positive attitude. Or if it was like in a classroom setting, just like reminding them that this is only temporary and that like on the other side of it, there's just so many more positive things to it, not just the one negative thing that happened to them.
Kind of going based off of what Avery said with bowling, a lot of people would like get down on themselves and say like, oh, they're not good enough, like whatever, I don't really care about it. But I just like to like reassure them and tell them like, you're here for a reason, like you want to get better and you will eventually get better.
I'll go off what Avery said with bowling too. I remember like there was a few girls like last year and like sometimes a little bit of this year, like they would all get down on themselves. And I know we're all like a pretty big group of like positive girls, I would say. And like personally, I was like the team captain, and I would like really try to like help them and like lift them up. Like me and Avery would always be there for them and like try to make them laugh, and yeah, so yeah.
How did you guys choose your topics?
I feel like we chose trust because it really is a big aspect in all of our lives. Especially in sports. I mean, the three of us, we're all on the same cheer team and we're in the same class as Avery. And just trusting each other is such a big thing to us, and it really is like the foundation of a lot of the things you do.
And then also throughout the year of the 2 semesters, we did leadership nuggets where we would do mini presentations, and students would come up with leadership nuggets. So we kind of just went off that and what connected to that with trust. That's where I knew we wanted to do trust.
For my group, we had like a list of like things that we could pick from, and we chose growth mindset because it's something that we all like could relate to.
So our leadership nuggets, we have this book that our class is kind of based off of, and from that book we find like quotes or sayings that we use. Most of them are like motivational quotes or just like different things to live by, I guess. And each different leadership nugget has a different meaning, has a different purpose. Trust was one of them, like ours was trust is the glue of life.
Also, the leadership nuggets like go based off of like what the topic we are learning about that day. So like, since we did ours on trust, like that's what our topic was. But if it's something like growth mindset, it'd be like the leadership nugget would be like based off of growth mindset.
How did you guys enjoy the class?
I personally loved the class. I met a lot of new people, and I started to like become friends with people that I didn't think I'd like truly be friends with. It's definitely a fun experience, and I feel like it's really gonna help me like when I go to college, and like, I don't know, I feel like I've learned a lot of leadership roles, if that makes sense, but yeah.
You also just collaborate with everyone around you, so you kind of learn to just, I don't know.
I mean, you kind of learn, you work together, and you definitely work with a lot of people that you've never talked to before, so that's one of like the kind of coolest parts about it, is like most of the people in the class I've never really talked to, and just throughout the year we've all grown so close, I feel like, and we're a lot more comfortable with each other, and also like getting to go to the freshman campus on Fridays and hanging out with the freshmen, just all the cool opportunities that we get.
Yeah, also another thing I didn't realize that this class, like what they kind of do is that we work with the adjusted learners like once a month, and it's really cool to see them. They always get excited to see us, and I just love like the opportunities we get to have with them.
What's your favorite part of the class?
My favorite part of the class is definitely like all the new friends I made, and I really like going to freshman campus, and working with the adjusted learners is really fun.
I would probably say one of my favorite parts was doing Pride Camp with the freshmen, especially when we did the practice run for Pride Camp. So it was like all the seniors, we got to go back and run through it, and it was kind of just like a glimpse back to our freshman year. So it was really cool.
Going off of what Avery said, Pride Camp was definitely probably my favorite part because you just connected with like your freshmen. Wasn't it like a month in we went to Pride Camp, so you didn't really know your freshmen yet, but you got to like just learn so much about them because you spent the whole day with them. And yeah, I also really liked Pride Camp. I didn't really have like a great Pride Camp experience my freshman year, so it was cool to kind of like give my freshmen a chance to get an experience that I never really got.
I'm gonna say that. Oh, we have 2 seconds, but I'm just gonna say that I really liked like going to East Campus. You get it, yeah.
Hey, we're going to need everyone in the front sections first. For our activity, we need to be in the front 3 sections. The back half over here is for our Leadership in Action kids. Front 3 sections to start. Make sure you check in with your teacher as well.
All middle section.
not sitting up top. Find a seat down below. Lower half.
We are in the middle front.
Lower half.
Hey, front three sections, let's go, hustle up. Front three sections, please. Take a seat in the front three sections.
Find a spot. Clear it out.
Go, middle front.
Oh wait, we were talking about this last time. I can't.
Let's go, front three sections, find your seat. Hey, we need people to sit in this section, please. We need some people down here.
Alright, phones away, AirPods away. Phones away, AirPods away.
All right, good afternoon. As we trickle in, please put your phones away, AirPods away. Welcome to the 2026 Leadership Summit. This is the fourth year that we have done this with our Leadership in Action students who are up in the back. So let's give a round of applause to our students up there. The Leadership Summit is something we do each year. We prepare the whole year for this moment. It is something that they get to choose a leadership nugget, which helps guide their presentation. A leadership nugget is something that you can live by, whether it's a habit, it's something about trust or growth mindset. In this presentation, we're going to have the topic of inclusion, and then we're going to talk about challenges and mistakes. So for us here in the audience, please be present. We're not being disruptive, we're not making noises, we're not on our phones, we're not talking, we're not snacking, we're paying attention. There will be opportunities for you guys to volunteer, so please participate. Raise your hand, you might come up on stage, talk a little bit, and then at the end we will have a small Q&A for both our groups. So if you have questions about the class, about their topics, about their journeys as seniors, please raise your hand and ask our students about that. So for our first group here, we have inclusion.
Hi guys, my name is Natalia and I'm involved in surround sound.
I'm Monte and I'm involved in color guard, choir, and Kiko.
I'm Ian Enciso. I was in wrestling and I'm in most of the ensembles here at McHenry High School.
And then as you see, our topic is inclusion.
Okay, So what is inclusion? Inclusion is the act, practice, or state of including and accommodating diverse individuals, particularly those historically excluded, ensuring they feel valued, respected, and empowered to participate fully.
Alright, we chose this quote because we really liked how it pointed out how being inclusive is a choice. It's not inherited.
Alright, so we're gonna need at least one volunteer for every section. We're gonna play the game from the pep rally, and we're gonna give each section, like the whole section, candy if you guys win. And it's gonna be the one where we're calling out objects and you have to find it in your section. So raise your hand if you want to participate. Alright, you guys can come down here. And just to remind you, I would say have your backpacks open. We're going to call objects. And then Abby, first. And you have to touch the whiteboard, and you have to come down with the object. Again, if your section wins, your section leader, you guys get candy for the whole section. Alright, are you ready? The first object is a pink highlighter. Go. A pink highlighter. Alright, are you guys ready for the next thing? It's somebody that's involved in NHS. NHS.
I don't know why I'm yelling, I got excited. I heard kids.
Alright, are we good? The next one, are we good? The next one is a notebook. Alright, the next one is somebody with a band t-shirt.
Band t-shirt, band t-shirt, band t-shirt. Get up, go, 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 go. Let's go.
Alright, are we good? The next one is a mascara.
Mascara, 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 mascara. Mascara, so we got mascara. Oh, look, mascara, mascara.
Alright, so section 2 gets all the candy. Good job. Alright, so as he passes it out, I'm going to kind of talk about how it connects to leadership and inclusion. So basically, with the game, the people that won, they had the most inclusion in their group. So you have to like use people that you didn't necessarily know versus the people that didn't win. It was because there was people that chose not to include themselves or weren't included.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about why inclusion is important in leadership. So one of the things that we said that why it's important is showing inclusion as a leader sets that principle for your team or your group. So when you are inclusive to everyone in your group, it'll make other people do that too. And then we said that inclusion boosts efficiency and problem solving because when everyone is able to use their different strengths,
and increases success and morale.
Okay, so our leadership nugget is inclusive leaders value all team members, especially those who are underrepresented.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys have to write that down in the paper, so if you need it for like a class, I would start writing it down. So our connection is with our current generation and school's inclusion. It's not just an idea anymore. Inclusion is the most important factor to building strong communities and effective leadership. High school students come from different economic, cultures, and experiences. When we do our best to foster an environment that helps people be valued and heard, it leads to participation and overall having our students thrive as individuals. Inclusion helps break down exterior types, which will reduce bullying, and this will encourage empathy, which is essential for a healthy school culture. Are you guys still writing it down? We're good now.
Okay, so we got a couple of statements from some students here. First one is from Eva, who is in surround sound. They say, I think inclusion of McHenry Community High School is really important because it helps students feel like they belong no matter their background, interests, or abilities. Being around others who are open and accepting has helped me feel more confident and willing to participate, whether it's in class, activities, or just meeting new people. And Haley LaForme, who's the host of President, says, I think inclusion is very important in schools as it allows students to have a sense of belonging in their school community. Personally, I feel included by my peers, and it has helped me be more confident in myself and encouraged me to try new things. We also have some statements from some teachers here. We have one from Mr. Willow, which he says, in my classes, students are generally inclusive, encouraging leadership with everyone, not just those with official roles. Most students make an effort to include peers who may be left out by offering support, starting conversations, or helping with tasks. There's a shared understanding not to judge others based on differences or social groups. Even though cliques still exist, while I've seen some instances of exclusions or hostility in the wider school, they don't seem to define most daily interactions. Overall, my perspective on the entire school is limited, but these are the patterns I've noticed. And then Mr. Vollmer says, I think there are good pockets of inclusion in our school, different clubs and events. It is always going to be hard, it is always going to be a hard thing in our school our size. There is always going to be kids that slip through the cracks and are comfortable staying out of the spotlight. How does a school this size create a community where the students can be a part of something bigger than them?
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about ways to be inclusive outside of school. So one that we had was listening to people without interrupting them. This validates the person that you're talking to so they can express all of their emotions and get everything that they need to get out. And then we had celebrating others' achievements. This makes the other person feel proud of themselves and want to achieve more. And then we had lead by example. Like I explained before, when your leader is inclusive, it's going to make you want to be more inclusive.
All right, so we want you to take away at least one of these goals within this week just for you to try to be more inclusive. The first two is talk to people you would not normally talk to and sit next to somebody new. The reason that we want you to try to do this is because overall you're gonna open up so many networks that you wouldn't even realize. Like you could have been so compatible with somebody, but you wouldn't know until you genuinely try to get to know somebody that you wouldn't normally talk to. And then our last one is ask for others' input in a group project. And this is a more school-based one because we know that there are sometimes groups that they have one person do almost everything, and there's other people that try to help, but it's harder for them to. And this is like a good way to just provide inclusion, and you just never know what somebody else's ideas are. And then pay attention to how your one thing impacts the people around you and yourself too.
Okay, so the message that we want to give to you guys moving forward is be a friend, not just friendly.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, next up we have challenges and mistakes.
Okay, I'm Aria and I'm in student council.
I'm Callie. I'm in Key Club, BPA, and MCHS.
I'm Caitlin, and I'm in Key Club, Tennis, and National Honor Society. And today we're going to be talking about learning from mistakes.
So there's going to be Kahoot up here. We want you guys to get into groups of 2 or 3, just people around you, and play on web phone. Okay, now we're going to start it. Reach the max limit. keep your phones up. We're gonna play it one more time. Everyone gets a redo.
We got everyone right, and we still got 10 points. No, I don't like the move because you have to click it faster. John, are you locked in?
John, you're standing. Bro, I memorized where they are.
I'm watching it.
It's nervy. It's nervy. Have you seen this? No, it's not. It's not letting me focus.
Okay, now put our phones away. Raise your hand if you got questions. We're on in round 1, but nailed it in round 2. Now, someone with their hands up. Tell me, why is that, Candy?
Wait, what?
Tell me why do you think that you guys approved the second time around? Bree?
Because I remember what I guess the last time.
Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, you learn from your mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. Teamwork makes a
Peyton.
It's a game I catch. So then on that Kahoot, think about that second round. Why did the scores go up? It's not because you suddenly just became minion geniuses. It's because your brain automatically started looking for the patterns of when you got stuff wrong the first time. Mistakes aren't losses, they're just learning opportunities, and you guys took those learning opportunities to do better on that second round. I have a video.
In a 2019 study, over 400 participants were enlisted to learn a mysterious, invented language. Individuals were asked about 3 pairs of runes. For example, which of these 2 characters represents an animal? Then, after a brief break, they were asked about the same rune pairs with questions flipped. As in, which of these 2 runes represents a non-living object? But this game had a secret. The subject's answers in round 1 determined the rune's meanings in round 2. In the first round, participants either had all their answers marked as correct, no matter what, or they were forced to fail every question. This meant that at the break, every participant had the same amount of information, and in round 2, they were playing for real. But despite this even playing field, the successful participants from round 1 rose to the top of the ranks, while those cast as failures kept, well, failing. People often describe failure as a teachable moment, a necessary stumble on our way to improvement. But learning from our mistakes isn't always easy, especially when those failures are demoralizing, overwhelming, or just downright confusing. So what exactly prevents us from turning our mistakes into mastery? Perhaps the most obvious hurdle to learning from failure is how painful it can be. People generally want to think of themselves as capable and competent, and experiencing failure threatens that self-image. In a survey following a replication of the Rune study, participants in the failure group indicated much lower levels of self-confidence after participating. It's tempting to dismiss this pain as a temporary setback, but some studies have found that when people feel demoralized or incompetent, their brains often stop processing new information. This suggests that if a threat to your self-esteem is large enough, it can undermine your ability to learn. However, your tolerance for failure also depends on your relationship with the task at hand. In a study from 2011, researchers surveyed a group of American students enrolled in introductory and advanced French courses. These students completed a questionnaire asking what kind of teacher they preferred, one who emphasized their strengths and successes, or one who highlighted their mistakes and corrected their weaknesses. In general, responses showed that while beginner students sought positive reinforcement, advanced students were more eager for critical feedback. Researchers have theorized a handful of explanations for these results. Having just started out, beginners are still determining if they enjoy learning French and if they want to continue studying. So they might crave praise as a way to stay motivated. On the other hand, the advanced students are already invested, so they may want to improve their skills as efficiently as possible. The process of gaining expertise also comes with its fair share of failure, so the advanced students may have built a higher tolerance for making mistakes. But whether you're an expert or a novice, it's usually much more straightforward to learn from your successes than your failures. For example, imagine getting your grade back on an exam. If you aced it, you could reasonably assume you made good choices around when, what, and how much to study, and you can replicate those decisions for the next test. But if you failed, it could be for any number of reasons. Maybe you didn't study enough. Maybe you studied the wrong information. Or maybe you did everything right and the test covered things you shouldn't have been expected to know. In cases like this, it's unclear exactly what went wrong, making it difficult to learn how to improve. Wanting to learn from our failures is completely natural, and there's a lot to gain by being resilient and cultivating a growth mindset. But fixating on your failures can make it easy to forget all your successes. And building on what you're doing right can be more effective than focusing on what you did wrong. One of the ways we can be more constructive with ourselves is by considering how we talk to ourselves. Self-talk can actually play a major role in performance. Learn the key to doing it right with this video, or get actionable science-based advice on how to build character at ed.ted.com/.
Okay. Okay, one more question. How can you guys apply something from this video to your outside life for Kennedy? Yeah.
What was your question again? I forgot, sorry.
Sorry?
What was the question again? I forgot.
How can you apply something from this video to your outside life?
Driver's test.
Driver's test?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I cannot be so hard on myself on failures and like change my perspective.
Love it. Anyone else? Okay.
All right, and then for our leadership nugget, it's believing your abilities can be developed, embracing challenges, and finding lessons in criticism are crucial values in a leader. And I'll give you guys some time to write that down. So one more time, our leadership nugget is believing your abilities can be developed, embracing challenges, and finding lessons in criticism are crucial values in a leader. And for our next slide. All right, so for our connection to leadership, the best leaders overcome challenges and they view failure as an opportunity to grow. A good leader is someone who's able to review and reflect on what they have done in the past in order to improve their futures. And then a good leader is someone who knows that they can always improve.
Okay, we surveyed some students from the school and we asked them to notice mistakes motivate you, and majority said yes. We also asked how often do you feel discouraged when making mistakes, and the majority said sometimes. And then we asked, does making mistakes push you to be a better leader? Majority said yes. We interviewed Miss Larson and we asked her, do mistakes help you grow? She said, I think it pushes you and drives you forward to excellence to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. We also interviewed Lily Cushman. We asked her the same question. She said, they show you that trying doesn't mean failure, it's another step into success. By showing resilience and overcoming mistakes, you are pushing yourself to be a better version of yourself.
For personal connections, I started off high school with a really rough start. I went into it with my pandemic, COVID habits, thinking if I don't do any work, then I will still get by, which was not the case. So first semester freshman year, I was failing nearly all my classes. One of my teachers noticed and reached out, and I started meeting with my counselor each week, and eventually I finished that semester with all A's and B's. So this just proves how, to me, and now I use that tactic to reach out for help when I need it, because otherwise you start digging yourself a rabbit hole that you don't want to get into.
Learning from your mistakes is going to be necessary
guys choose to do after high school, and any success you hope to have later in life. An individual who is willing to embrace mistakes is an individual who is willing to become the best version of themselves. Thank you.
All right, we have a few minutes to open it up for questions. Again, if you want to ask about the class itself, their experience, listen up. If you want to talk about their specific topic, do so. If you want to talk about their journey as a senior, anything that you guys want to ask them, they'll be willing to answer.
Does anybody have any questions for us? Yes, Maddie?
What was your experience? What was your favorite experience being a leader?
Could you repeat that?
What was your favorite experience of being a leader? Was that what your guys was about?
For me, my favorite, specifically for Leadership in Action, was Pride Camp because I got to see how, because I have students with IEPs, so I got to see how people with that struggle to make those connections were able to make those connections despite being like really frustrated, and I got to see them persevere through something that was exhausting.
I really enjoy the connections that being a leader and being in Leadership in Action give you. There's a lot of opportunities outside of class that we are able to take on, and it overall just teaches you a lot about life, not even in just leadership.
What made you guys take leadership in action?
I had a really good experience with my leader, and I wanted to give that experience to freshmen as well.
So I had the opposite. My leader never really showed up, so I thought I could take the class and be like a better influence than they were on me.
Yeah, me and Natalia actually had the same senior leader, and she's really inspiring both of us to take this class.
What advice would you give to your freshman self?
I would tell my freshman self to just be more confident and like not be afraid to try new things or get involved with clubs or all the opportunities that McHenry has to offer.
I would say, I would tell myself to just talk to people. I remember I actively avoided talking to new people, so that really limited who I got to meet.
How will some of these experiences that you guys have in this class impact you more in the future?
I definitely became more of a patient person and a more empathetic person. Hearing a lot of the things that my freshmen have gone through have really helped me be able to help them and talk about it with them.
I think the same thing, but it also just helped me in general just be more mindful of what people are going through and to be, like she said, more patient.
This class has really taught me how to become a better communicator, whether you're delegating a task to a team or trying to work on a group project. I think that's a great skill that I will use.
It taught me how to put myself out there and to reach out for help when I really need it.
And it taught to be inclusive. That's a really huge thing, especially in this world today. If there's someone that's quiet and you don't normally hang out with them, it's good to get to know them because you may think you don't get along with them well, but maybe you will.
Sorry, what's your guys' favorite thing about the class itself?
For me, my favorite part is going to the freshman campus every Friday. Just building that connection with your students is really nice. You'll eventually, like, you start off, you don't know them at all. They honestly don't even talk to you much. And then as you go along, they'll get to know you better. You'll start to learn about their lives and what they do.
I think my favorite thing is really getting to see like the impact that you have on people around you. In this class, like going to the freshman campus or going with our adjusted learners, you really get to see like how much of an impact your personality and your leadership has on that group.
All right, good job, guys.
Yeah, but like, I can get the stairs from. I don't know.
Let's try it. We can do this here. Keep them.
Soul. What do I need it for? You need it.
Security sent me to the office.
I'm blind. We're horrible at this.
Yeah, we're staying there Saturday. Your hair. I love your hair.
Hey, before we're going to sit up there and talk, so if you come down here, I'm going to put you with the rest of the class. I'm not listening to you. I'm just telling you what's up.
All right, good afternoon. This is our last presentation of the day. I understand it's 8th period. Please put your phones away, put your AirPods away. All your attention is going to be at our speakers for today. We don't want to have to remove you from this presentation, but we will. All right? We have 2 presentations today from our Leadership in Action students. Our Leadership in Action students are up there, so give them a round of applause. This is the 4th year we've done the Leadership Summit. The Leadership Summit is a TED Talk style presentation, 12 to 15 minutes on a certain topic. Those topics, guys, you can, hey, wait a minute, you can stop talking. Is that okay? Make sense? These TED Talk style presentations will be centered around mental adversity and communication. We have leadership nuggets that we're going to write down on your sheets. If you have not received one of the sheets, we have some extras up here. That leadership nugget is kind of guiding their presentation. Throughout the year, we write down leadership nuggets in our notebooks. We gather them from our textbook, from quotes, from videos, and that's what they're going to use for their presentation today. Right? So again, phones away, we're not talking. We might need some volunteers for our presentation, so please volunteer, participate, answer questions, get up here if they ask you to. And the last 10 or so minutes will be a Q&A. So have some questions ready about the class, the course, the students, and their journey as seniors as they head off to their next adventure. All right, so our first group will be communication.
Hi guys, so I know it's 8th period and you guys all want to go home. So if you guys could just lock in with us for a little bit longer, that would be great. Our presentation today is on communication and teamwork. My name is Eileen. I am in MCHS, Key Club, BPA, Connections Crew, and the Engineering Club.
And my name is Melanie. I'm in BPA, Key Club, Soccer, and Lasso.
My name is Pamela. I'm in BPA, Key Club, Spanish Honor Society, Connections Crew, and a leadership internship.
I'm Melissa, and my picture disappeared. I don't know why. I'm also in Key Club and Connections Crew. That's just the stuff that I needed here. Oh, there I am. Okay, fire. Okay, so first I have a couple of quotes for you guys that kind of just relate to communication and teamwork and how they go like hand in hand with each other. Effective teamwork begins and ends with communication. You guys, I feel like would hear that the most from maybe a coach. If you're like on a sports team, I know Beer Bauer says really similar stuff about this, so it's that one. And the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it is taking place. So you can never assume that somebody had a conversation that they haven't had. You have to make sure that you're talking to people. And so there's that. I need 6 people to get up here on this stage. If you're not good with your alphabet, don't raise your hand. Okay, I need 5 more people.
Apple.
Apple, banana.
Apple, banana, carrot.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant.
Apple, banana. Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant. Flat. Yeah, like, oh wait, no, food. I'm changing it to food.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat,
The alphabet's behind you.
gray,
Apple, banana, carrot, dog. Flat, gray, house.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat, grape, house. Igloo.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat, gray, house, igloo. Dolly.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat, gray, house, igloo, jolly, kangaroo.
Apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat, gray, house, igloo, jolly, kangaroo, lime.
You have all 12 letters?
apple, banana, carrot, dog, elephant, flat, gray, house, igloo, jolly, kangaroo, lion.
Wait, she's got it.
I'm gonna let you guys go because it's the last one. You guys actually did a lot better than I was expecting you to do. I really wanted you guys to mess up and you didn't. So that wasn't helpful. So the thing with communication is when you the first thing about communication when you think of it, you think about talking to other people, just having the conversation. But a huge part of communication is also listening to other people. Everybody deserves to feel heard. And if you guys didn't listen to each other while you were saying all these random words, how good do you think you did them? Pretty bad, right? So you guys did a really good job with communicating yourself, but also listening, which is a big part of it. And you guys also did a really good job. And you can go sit down.
So the reason why we think communication and teamwork is so important is because it creates trust, allowing for people to feel more seen and they're able to take accountability, as well as it improves work ethic by improving decision making. So people gather more ideas when using teamwork because there's many different kind of skills with multiple different people, as well as having effective communication prevents
conflict, and miscommunication. Another reason why it's so important is because it fosters responsibility, empathy, confidence, and problem solving.
Okay, so how do we become better communicators and better teammates? Is by being active listeners. We gotta listen to people when they're talking so we understand them, we understand what they need from us. Asking questions, like if we're confused, we don't understand the situation, if we ask questions, even if it's the little stuff, that matters. Taking accountability, if something goes wrong and you know that that you did that issue, just taking accountability, being honest about it, and being positive. If you're positive about everything, then things will go better, you will be a better teammate to the people around you.
So what you're going to write on your papers, the leadership nugget, is effective leadership requires precise communication, skills, patience, and collaboration to solve complex problems. Are you guys done writing it down?
Okay, guys, are we good? Okay.
So for the personal story, I don't know if you guys remember at Pride Camp your freshman year when we had like the maze on the board and you had to get like the ball through it. So Melanie and I aim. They were arguing and they were not like collaborating. They were blaming one another and calling each other names, and they weren't really getting anywhere with that. We went like multiple times and they still were not getting the hang of it. So we kind of told them to take a pause and just take a breather and to create a solid plan, and they started communicating between one another, and quickly enough they got the hang of it, and throughout the day their entire attitude had changed. So that just kind of shows the importance of communicating with your team and how quickly it does take effect to achieve your goals.
And then kind of continuing off of that, like the communicating and teamwork, I play soccer in school and then also like outside, like playing other sports that require communication and teamwork. Specifically for like soccer in school, starting a new season and then having a completely like different team, it can be frustrating, like communicating, because like people sometimes like don't trust you, you're just getting to know people, so communicating can be hard and frustrating. But once you're able to come as a team and reflect and communicate, you're able to see better results or better improvement.
And then for me, my sophomore year, I was in a group and we were doing a presentation, and we basically didn't do any of it. We all procrastinated and we didn't communicate at all. And the day that it was due, no one had done none of their work, so I ended up doing it the period before, and I was stressed out. And then I told the teacher afterwards, and then I realized, I'm like, I should have communicated better. I should have told them, hey, let's do this on this day, let's do this better. We should have delegated it better. So I think overall, it's just having a communication with your people around you, with your group, telling them, okay, let's do this better, let's do this again. So just setting up places for everyone.
communication helped you succeed? So this first person talks about their job, and if any of you guys have a job, you know that there's like a rush. Usually it's like a dinner rush or a lunch rush, something like that. It's really busy and chaotic, like you're understaffed, any of that. So, like if you don't communicate with your coworkers and you don't work together, you're never getting through that rush, and you might cry by the time you like leave your shift that night. So that first person, they kind of tie into their job. And the second person here, they talk about the players on their team, and they talk about how much communication helps their teamwork, because they talk to each other, they explain their thoughts, and like the more that you talk to each other, you connect with each other, and like they share their feelings and share thoughts about the sports, the games, and it brings them closer together as a team. This person up here on the top left just talks about doing tasks and how you need to communicate, even doing like a simple task. And that's just how important communication is in our day-to-day lives. And this bottom student also talks about their teamwork in their sports. They play soccer, so they talk about we need to communicate with your team. You guys have to work as a whole, especially when you're in a sport like soccer, and if you don't work together and have that open communication, it's going to get chaotic out there on the field.
Okay, and then we conducted interviews, and specifically interviewed Coach Bierbauer and then Mr. Stengel, and we just put these 3 questions. So for the first question, it was, have you ever been in a leadership position? If you have, what's something that you have struggled with? Coach Bierbauer spoke about sometimes being guilty of wanting to do your own thing at times, as well as finding it easy to creep into people pleasing. And then Mr. Stengel said that he struggled with the idea of finding his administrator voice, so how he managed adults versus kids, and how you make all those things work together. And then for the second question, it was, do you believe there is a correlation between communication and teamwork for success? When you don't communicate, it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just means that those things are filling that space, and sometimes those things are things you don't want to hear, is what Coach Bierbauer said, as well as being a good communicator and leader also means that you have to be an excellent listener. And then Mr. Stengel said that you have to, it's the only way to do it. And he specifically spoke about student voice and administrative voice, and how you have to collaborate in order to make the school run. And then for the last question, it was, what is some advice that you would give to someone who is struggling with communication and teamwork? Coach Bierbauer said about having empathy, and then having empathy helps you be a good communicator, and then about teamwork. And then Mr. Stengel spoke about practicing communication, and then practicing with those teammates that are around you, or those adults that you can find trust in, and then that would transfer with everyone around you. And then for the connection to audience, Alyssa, can you change the slide? To the connection to the audience, so communicating and teamwork relates to everyone, so it's a day-to-day interactions, group work, team and sports, as well as clubs. Like you see it in the day-to-day. It can be hard, like we find it difficult at times, like we are constantly communicating and having teamwork when we go to the freshman campus, or just in the day-to-day. But those key principles demonstrate great leadership and skills. There are more positive successes, such in the classroom or on a team. Overall, you gain more benefits and success from communicating and teamwork, not for yourself, but also for those around you.
And then we're just closing it off with our leadership nugget. So, some of us will be going to college soon, or will be pursuing our careers. And in the big picture, effective communication and teamwork will help with networking and building relationships, as well as just allowing us to succeed in group settings. Thank you.
You guys. All right, last group of the day, mental adversity.
2. Mic check. So our leadership summit is on mental adversity. So our Ignite is this quote, it's whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So basically what this means is that if you have a positive mindset and you believe in yourself and you're taking positive actions, then you're way more likely to succeed in whatever you choose to do. On the other side, if you're like thinking negatively and having self-doubt, you're less likely to succeed. So now we'll share like a quick story with sports. During my sophomore year of basketball, I tore 2 ligaments in my ankle, and that was very mentally challenging to like go through. And I kind of just had to persevere and think positively in order to get back on the court.
I'm Adam. I also had an injury last year. I broke my wrist, and that was kind of mentally hard just sitting on the bench. But I kind of looked at it from like a future perspective that I know I'd come back at some point, and so I had a positive mindset, and then it allowed me to be able to play even better by the time that I came back.
My name is Jeffrey. I had an injury in football last year, my junior year, and I tore ligaments in both sides of my ankle, and that took me out for the rest of the year. And that was pretty challenging to overcome that, especially for the upcoming season.
My name's Nolan. I've been playing football the past 4 years, and I've definitely dealt with a lot of mental adversity with injuries. Like sophomore year, first time starting varsity, I got my ankle sprain, which cut me out a bit, had to play through that. And junior year, a concussion, which knocked me out basically the whole year. And same story this year, so it's definitely been pretty rough, like ending each season like that. So it's just hard to keep going through it, basically.
Here's our video. It's on Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, remember I interviewed him years ago. And I said, what makes you the best in the world? Is it skill? Is it talent? Is it ability? Is it background? Is it training? He said, I didn't even make the high school basketball team my sophomore year. I was cut. He said, what it is every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could possibly expect. I don't compete with other people. I compete with what I'm capable of. And it's just like, that kind of standard is inspiring.
What are some key takeaways from this video?
It shows that like it takes time and effort to like do things like that.
And you gotta think, like, getting caught sophomore year, it's gotta be pretty rough. So, like, the mental adversity that you probably dealt with to just keep working at it and keep going is very impressive. It's something to learn from.
Okay, for the activity, I need either 4 or 8 people.
Preferably 8 people, it'd be more fun.
All right, so for our activity, we're gonna have our 8 volunteers here. They're going to be spinning around in circles while Jeffrey tells them different tasks that they have to complete. So we're gonna disorient them with spinning, and we're gonna throw a lot of mental adversity at them while they do it.
Okay, alright, start spinning. Alright, when you're done spinning, you're gonna recite the whole alphabet. Okay, when you're done spinning, you're gonna do a backflip. Keep spinning. Okay, stop. Alright, do a rock, paper, scissors tournament. Winner, come talk to me.
Hey, you just go to the side.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Aiden, come here. Okay, Aiden was our winner. What did you learn from dealing with all the different tasks you were given, and how did you overcome and beat everybody in the rock, paper, scissors tournament?
I believed in myself. I think I can win the rock, paper, scissors competition. And I was mentally ready to go against Osway in the beginning. And yeah.
Thank you.
Our leadership nugget is if the path looks impossible from where you are, where you stand, change perspective, not your goals. This is what you're going to write down on paper. So this nugget connects to mental adversity by showing that no matter what battles you face or bumps in the road you roll over, it's important to disregard these negatives and flip your perspective and focus on the positives in order to reach your goal. And then connecting our nugget to daily life. Our nugget connects to life through the simple word perspective. Too many times people have a reachable goal, and if they work towards beyond bar for that, they can make it a reality, but they tend to get away from it because the path to getting the goal was too taxing on them and seemed almost impossible for themselves before even trying it. With our nugget, we want people to change the way that they view the path to the goal. For example, let's look at high school student athletes' life. Their goals could be to compete at a high-level college and get a scholarship, but their paths to it are lift weights consistently, train hard, get lots of rest, and perform at a high level, eat correctly, etc. The perspective of that seems a little hard and stressful, but if you change that perspective into loving the process, then the goal becomes much more attainable.
All right, so we conducted a couple interviews, one with the student, one with the coach. So first we interviewed Coach Buss with the question of how does mental adversity play a role in school? He answered, when students are dealing with mental struggles, school can feel more overwhelming than it normally would. It can affect their motivation, confidence, and ability to pay attention. They might not participate as much or ask for help, but with support though, they can learn how to manage it better. That was Coach Buss. And then we interviewed Jeremy Beasy, who we played football with. He said, balancing my mental health with my academic goals felt impossible, but I realized that rest is not laziness, it's part of the process.
Alright, we made a survey in order to truly understand the school's perspective of mental adversity and how easy or hard it is for people to cope with this. We decided to conduct a simple 3-question survey on how people cope with mental adversity and work through it in order to reach a goal. So this survey told us a lot about the way people think and feel throughout our school and gave us a good understanding of people's perspective on mental blocks versus physical blocks. Alright, first question we asked was, during this past school year, have you been negatively impacted by a mental block that you went through? The blue in the pie chart is yes, so around 84.1% of people stated that they have been negatively impacted by a mental block of some sort. So most people that took the survey said that they have been impacted. And then the second question asked, on a scale of 1 to 5, how well do you deal with or bounce back from mental adversity and stay positive? These results are kind of even, but most people said that they were like in the middle at around a 3. Sometimes that they do, and sometimes they don't deal with it well. And then our last question was, what do you think is harder to overcome, mental adversity or physical adversity? As you see again, like most people said, mental is harder. About like 3 out of every 4 people that take the survey said that mental is harder than physical adversity. And so, kind of what we got from the survey, we concluded that students tend to agree that mental adversity is harder to overcome than physical adversity, and it takes more time to heal from. The results indicated that people have an objectified idea that physical pain is much more temporary than mental pain, and that mental adversity can stick with you longer and take a long, more thoughtful and hard process to heal. Alright, and so personal stories for us, like things that we do whenever self-doubt hits. So like for me, obviously, I play basketball and stuff, so sometimes I could lack confidence, and we all go through like similar stuff with mental adversity. So for me, a thing that I like to do is I focus on why I started doing it in the first place. So like, let's say I have a bad game or a bad practice, like I think back to like why I started playing basketball first, and it's because like I feel like it's just something that makes me really happy and something that's important to me, and so I just want to keep doing that to keep getting that like euphoric happy feeling.
For me, whenever self-doubt hits, I tell myself that there's nothing I can do to change the past. Instead, I must focus on what's next and what I can do next. And if you dwell on the past and like your past mistakes, it will affect your future and the present, how you will perform in the future. So this is something that I take with me all the time. I try to use it mentally as much as I can, especially when it comes to sports, like in baseball, striking out is a tough thing that you got to overcome because you get 3 more bats right after that.
And then one thing I do when self-doubt hits is I think of the outcome. So if I achieve that goal, what will happen? Like how will it benefit me? So I just use that to motivate me to keep persevering and pushing forward. And yeah, that's how I work with them.
So what I like to do whenever self-doubt hits is say like, I don't know, football game, I'm taking a test, like I missed a tackle, I'm not doing it on the test, like I kind of take a second to just step back, like remind myself like, okay, like I am capable of doing this, like I'm not as bad as I'm playing right now. I just need to like take a second, breathe, reassess what I'm doing, and put my best effort into it.
Alright, our final message and takeaways of this is perseverance means to adjust your approach, not abandoning a goal. Mental challenges are just as important as physical challenges when it comes to sports and school. Setbacks such as confusions or injuries can build resilience if they are handled correctly, and changing your perspective can turn a dead end into a new solution. And so our message that we want to give you before we leave today is to never give up on something that you're passionate about. If you have a dream, dream as big as you can. If you have a goal, reach that goal with everything you got. And if you're having many bumps in the road, you can change what road you're taking, but do not change the destination.
That's all. Thanks, guys.
times like I play basketball, so like during a basketball game, like if I'm really in my head and like I overthink like a shot, like if I miss a 3-point shot and then like the next play I have a wide open 3 and I miss it again, like those to me are like winning plays and losing plays. And so like when I miss those shots, like it's more so like not about the specific play that I have, but it's about like can I not let this past game affect my next game. So like when you think about it from play to play, like Jeff was talking to me earlier, he was telling me about how like he thinks that like you can't change the past, but like you can focus on changing the future and making it better. So like obviously there's gonna be moments where you can't control that, where it goes wrong, but as long as you're putting in the effort to change the future and make it better, then that's really all you can do.
Yeah, and last year around this time when we were going to playoffs for baseball, we had a pretty good year last year. We took second in the state, made school history. First game of playoffs, I started going into a slump. I think I had like a bad first game, then it just dwelled down and went even worse from there. And I also got kicked out of my house for this. My dad kicked me out for like a week because I played very bad. And it was just something I'd overcome, and it was something where I kind of thought this was the worst thing in the world that possibly happened to me. But it came around next season, we're starting up again, and everything's going pretty well, and yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs to start. And I'm back in my house. My dad will be back in.
Any other questions?
Hey guys.
Any other questions? Emily? One thing I learned with being in leadership in action is just making like valued like connections, or like valuing the connections you have. Like I feel like being in leadership in action, like you have so many opportunities to make such good connections, and like not passing those by.
Yeah, I'd say keeping your doors open and just like kind of like bounce off what she said, like meeting new people and understanding other people's perspectives can kind of change your own.
Yeah, I'd say meeting new people is definitely one of the best things this class has to offer. You're constantly with new people, working with different people, and the Just Learners are definitely a fun time, and it's great to get to know them.
I feel like I learned how to like be in front of a classroom and being able to lead. I think a lot, like at least the beginning of taking this class, I dealt with a lot of like imposter syndrome, and I felt like I didn't deserve to be a leader, but like I definitely learned to be more comfortable in leadership roles.
I think something that I learned was like how important your image is, and how like people younger than you or just anybody below you, like when you're in a leadership role, how much they like mirror that and they learn from how you behave. So that was kind of a big thing for me, something like that.
One thing I learned is the ability to be like selfless, not to like put yourself first, but to put others people's needs first. So like for our freshman team, just to make sure that they have like all opportunities that they can, or like I can give them advice when they need.
Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, we would have presentations like really often. So like we do this thing where I don't know, it's like a student warm up where they basically like take like a nugget that they have from like their own book and they present on it. And so I think that was a really big thing. Just like we all have the same nugget because we have this book, like the leadership nugget book. And so like we all have the nuggets, but like it's kind of cool because like with those presentations we can understand other people's perspective on that nugget. So it's not just like us reading a nugget and it's just us, but like some other people might view adversity a different way than we do.
Thank you, everyone.
downstairs.
What should we do?
Jeffrey,
Bring your freshman
your badge.
I was in the back, I did not.
Did you guys get this from McHenry or? Yeah, just bring it on.
We forgot my bowl. Busted my stuff. Busted your stuff? A lot of papers. I was gonna say, I just said I felt bad for the janitor.